Hey everyone, and welcome to the worst quest in the world. Now I'm not going to go too much into why this quest is so awful, but some of the reasons are that it just takes a long time to go through. The mechanics are dumb, and if you die, then congratulations, right back to start. But I don't know, some of you might think this is easy and maybe I'm bad, but judging by the amount of people I saw suddenly popping up outside going nope, and this quest, I'm out. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that for most people, it's pretty difficult. Anyway, this is not a guide, this is just my playthrough, and I'll try to give some tips on how you could possibly, hopefully, make it easier on yourself. And by the way, this is just for the main quest. I'm not doing any hidden quests or any achievements. Here we go.
Strange. There are no signs of people inside this manor. It's just empty.
My wife is getting worse, and the doctor has been delayed by the storm. Gods, please, stop the rain.
Now these candles over here, they attract the ghosts, so you don't want to be lighting anyone up. You don't have to. Now here, you're going to get a lantern, but I would advise you to keep it off for the entire run if you can see, depending on your brightness. But anyway, I found it way easier just to keep it off the entire run because you don't attract some of the bigger mobs here. Unless, of course, you need to use the Q ability. Now, here I am going to turn on the lantern because the quest says specifically to outrun this mob. And that's pretty much the only reason why it's on right now. And then you get up here, and then they reset, so that's good. Coming up the stairs, there's a door right in front of you. You don't need to enter that for the main quest. It's just an unnecessary ghost. And here you will need to light up the candles to see the quest objective.
Sir, Lady Anna seems completely mad. Yesterday, she killed a stray dog with a kitchen knife. We need to call a priest before it's too late. She must be possessed by the demon.
Running along this hall, you should run into one of the bigger mobs, but it shouldn't aggro on you as long as you keep the lantern off.
I smell blood. It's probably from the mess downstairs. I should go down.
From here on out, the name of the game is basically speedrun. If you interact with the objects as soon as you see them, it gives the ghost less time to hit you and interrupt you.
These footprints look fresh. I knew the crew came here. A big man was dragged away by something. Am I too late to save him? These bloodstains look fresh. Torn clothes and faint footprints. He must have run through this door.
Now, shortly after you interact with this next objective here, a cutscene is going to be played. And just get ready to walk as fast as you can up towards the door and open it right away. You'll see why in a moment.
The dining.
I feel much better now that I got some grub. I thought I was gonna die in that shipwreck. Thank goodness.
I don't know who owns this place, but thanks for the meal.
Go.
Drat, when did they come?
Now here, just interact with the door immediately. You can see the ghost popping up here. He's going to try to interrupt me, but he can't make it in time. I'm going to do the same for the next room. Now here you can see how close I actually am to being interrupted. But because I ran up to the door so fast, it gave me a little bit of extra time to open it. If you do get interrupted, you could try one out of two things, and that's try to kite them away from the door and run back and interact with it and hope that you don't get interrupted. Or you might have to use some lantern charges to destroy them and then open it. Now here I'm just going to keep going from one objective to the next and not give the ghosts a chance to catch up with me.
Hide!
That ghost, it was trying to say something.
Here I'm a little bit hesitant because I know that there's a butcher here and I don't want to aggro him. Once I see that he's not here, I just sprint and I go for the objective.
Did it go into the chapel?
Now, as advertised, here he is, and I'm a little bit lucky enough to get hit here, I think. But even if you do, it's fine. You can just go on to the next objective. You're gonna lose some health, but that's okay. And here we go with the next objective. Just run up to it, interact as fast as possible, because you can see how close behind the mobs are.
I call upon the powers of Sacria to fight the demon inside the girl. Only their sacred torch can drive the demon out of her body.
And here you'll have to light some candles again to see the quest objective. Just do it and get the objective and keep running towards the next.
Where are you going?
For some reason, I decided not to go for the door. I felt that the mobs were a little bit close behind me. Could have possibly made it, I don't know. But I instead decided to just round them up and destroy them before making another attempt. I'm trying to round them up properly and get them all in one charge. I am having a little bit of difficulty doing that. So I end up using like 3 charges and not even getting them all. Now I've already used 2 charges. This is the 3rd, and I don't want to use anymore. I'm going to take my chances with these 2 and just hope that I can go a little bit back and forth and not get interrupted all the time. This is annoying, and they do interrupt, but they don't take that much health, so it's fine. And eventually, they probably will miss and should be able to make it. I can see how many tries this took me, and I could have possibly kited them further away. I don't know if there's a better way of doing this, but like eventually it did work, so like just move on. Go for the next objective. Now here I do run up to the objective as fast as possible, and I do get interrupted, but I just keep going, hoping that he'll miss or he'll be too slow. And sure enough he is, and I do get the objective. Now I managed to get myself stuck here, and I have to use a lantern charge just to get out of it. But that's okay, moving on. Hopefully you won't have to. So the only reason why I don't go through this door right now is because I'm a little bit low on lantern fuel, and I just don't feel comfortable moving forward without it. Some of these coffins in the next area has health regeneration wisp, which is pretty convenient if you're low on health. But they do also contain ghosts, so you don't want to open them unless you have to.
I found the door in front of the ossuary in the chapel basement. But I had to run because something cold touched me. I hope the priest from the Holy Sacrian Empire arrives soon.
So these mobs down here are a little bit tougher, but as far as I could tell, they don't aggro you at all as long as you keep the lantern on. Now at the end of the path here, there's going to be a skull door, and the area in front of that door is effectively a safe zone. And the ghosts, at least during my gameplay, they either reset or they just wait for you outside. So at least you can relax for a second.
My sister is being held captive by the ghost of the well.
This... it looks like a gate to the realm of death.
Now you're gonna need to get 3 skulls here, and my recommendation is to go for the 3rd one first, because if you go for the 1st or 2nd one, they're just gonna spawn additional mobs, making it harder for you to go for the 3rd one. So the butcher patrols this area here back and forth, so I'm just chilling here, lantern off. Only really attracting the smaller ghosts, and just doing this until I feel comfortable moving on. I could have possibly continued and just went inside the gate and go for the objective. But I was a little bit scared of dying. I did not want to have to start all over again. And inside this little area here, there's a kind of a safe zone. He does manage to hit me once. Don't know why. Maybe I was standing a little bit awkwardly. But anyway, he does reset. And I can move on after that. Oh yeah, and there's also a regen wisp in this coffin. And over here, you want to go for the right coffin. Left one has a ghost. Now here I'm a little bit confused because I don't see the skull drop right away. I could have possibly picked it up without being interrupted if I just spammed the direct. But it worked anyway. So now I just run towards the 2 remaining skulls and I get them without too much difficulty. And I go for the safe zone here one last time just to be safe. And here you can see them retreating.
Now, fit this skull in the door.
Stop it!
This is where the priests join together to seal a demon.
Did Anna do this too? He's not one of the crew who came to this place.
So this next part is going to look scary, but it's not difficult. After you talk with this guy, there's going to be a cutscene with the butcher. Basically, just follow the quest marker, run into the room, and hide.
A girl? You don't have time to find her.
You should hide.
Coming up next is the final but most nerve-wracking part. You have to aggro this crazy ghost lady over to a spotlight that is off and where there are other mobs. Line them up in front of the spotlight and use your lantern on them, and then activate the spotlight without getting interrupted. If you can do that, then you just run towards the gate and that's it. So here I am trying to gather up the mobs and line them up in front of the spotlight. I get staggered, and then I get feared, and then I fail. And then I get feared again, and I almost die. Now, I figured that this was my final chance to get it right. I either get it or I die. I did not get it, but I also luckily did not die, so I got one more chance. This part, I will spend a lot of time just running around trying to line it up properly, so I'm going to speed up the video just for this. Okay, so here I go, swing around, and I get it, and I activate the spotlight, and boom. And I made it. And if I didn't make it, I would have possibly quit the game, maybe even life.
I
may find Anna if I follow this road.
So what remains now is basically just running and some cutscenes, and at the end of the video, my final thoughts on this quest.
Is that the sister you were talking about?
This one took a little longer. Anna, you know I love you very much, right?
So that's the end of the quest. My final thoughts are that whoever made this must have a lot of issues. It doesn't make sense to me. Like, it was so unpleasant to play, and especially considering that there was like hidden quests in there and achievements. So they're thinking they want people to be in there, and it just feels like sadism to me, honestly. I mean, they're probably sadists. It was long, the mechanics were bad, and it didn't have checkpoints. It was just awful. Good music though.